pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Peter Somerville, Town.
Ed Benachin, Town Councilman.
John Dolce, Town Supervisor.
Randy Bates, Town Councilman.
Ryan Wood, Town Councilman.
Victoria Baker, Town Clerk.
Okay, any audience comments? If not, I make a motion to accept the minutes from the June 12th meeting.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
I abstain.
Aye, motion carried. There are no budget modifications or transfers.
I'll make a motion to pay all signed vouchers and bills.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Okay,
Do the resolution first.
I'm sorry?
Do the resolution first. Get it out of the way.
Speed limit.
Oh.
Can we go out of order? Or do we have to go? I would do the resolution, do the Medusa fire thing, and then let's end with the vote.
So resolution for speed limit reduction on Seabird Road. This is a resolution prepared by the attorney. Board has received public comments expressing safety on Seabird Road. The town board has determined that in the interest of public safety, from 55 to 40 miles an hour on Seabird Road intersection with County Route 352 to the county line is warranted. So I don't have to read this whole thing, but basically it's reducing the speed limit. So now by us doing this resolution, is that,
Makes it law.
No, it doesn't.
No.
Oh,
That's the.
Alright.
Oh, that's okay.
And the state.
And then there has to be a public hearing.
Yeah, no public hearing.
I'm not sure about the public hearing.
It's a law, so it'd have to be a public hearing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I was just saying when you were doing it, I'm like, do I remember, forget the public hearing? Like, I know that I don't have perfect attendance, but
but
I'm like, I
still,
don't remember, because we tried to do this with Pond Hill and it was a whole drawn out thing. That's why I thought maybe I just missed it, but okay. So this is just seeking approval to do it.
Yes.
Okay.
right, authorized to take all steps necessary to carry out this resolution.
Okay.
So I need a motion.
I'll make a motion that we adopt a resolution seeking to reduce the speed limit on Seabird Road from 55 miles an hour to 40 miles an hour.
Second that.
You
All in fit.
gotta do roll call.
So John Dolce's and I, Randy Bates,
Aye.
Pete Somerville,
Aye.
Ed Van Auken,
Aye.
and Brian Wood.
Aye.
The other thing we have up is authorization for Medusa Volunteer Fire Company to hold a fundraiser at the recycling center, July 26th, 2025, from 9 to 1. See email from Tabitha. I don't have that email, but
But, do you have this?
There's a letter in here.
can I just,
They want to do a boot drive, which is similar to the one we do in the road in Preston Hollow, where you just basically hold a boot, people drop $1 change in it. My only question to the board would be, will there be any opposition if the Rensselaer Fire Department wanted to come over and do it, or the Preston Hollow Fire Department wanted to come over and do it at any time? I mean, mine would be no, but I just wanted, Medusa is kind of unique because it's their fire district, right? But, are we gonna allow others to do it? We let the Legion do the poppies, which is the same kind of thing. They're looking for some donations too when they do. the poppies.
Absolutely, yeah. Good for me.
Yeah, I think that there just have to be something revisited if it was a constant every weekend. I don't know if the folks, the public would want to come here every weekend and be shut down for $1 fit change. Not that I think it's a big deal. I think all these, they deserve it, but if you have it too much, you might get some pushback from.
So they're gonna help carry, or the other option would be to have it out on Barger Road.
Well, so the next question is, you might just ask them for, to have their insurance naming us as an additional insured for that day, or just tell them, don't help anybody, they can stand around, in a safe area. Like if somebody gets hurt, what if they pick up a bag of garbage and cut their hand or something? I don't wanna be too dramatic, I'm not all about that, but you do have to be concerned with that a little bit.
Right, because I could see them offering help.
Gotta remember
Well, it
that
says it in the
it's
last
our
one.
workers' comp, it's our workers' comp anyway, so they just tell them that, we're making sure that everybody that there's is active anybody who's there has to be an active firefighter, so that they would be covered under their workers' compensation.
If it got to be where a lot of different organizations want to do it, it'd almost be better setting, not help carry and just put one at the entrance, each entrance.
Yes. Okay. I'll make a motion that, we allow Medusa Fire to do the boot, at the transfer station on
July
July
26th.
26th from 9 to 1.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. All right, moving on to old business, awarding the Bow grants. I'd like to read this. Now that we come to the Jeffrey Bow Grant Awards, I want the public to know that this town board has endured 3.5 years of legal proceedings, discussions, and difficulties in coming up with what to do with his money. The board the public in deciding how to spend the money. The money was left to the town of Rensselaer to benefit the whole town. The major requirement was to benefit all. This says volunteer-run groups or organizations that are doing or wish to do work that enriches/benefits the community. This could include, but is not limited to, cultural, youth groups, nonprofits, fire, cemetery, and community beautification. The grants are not for religious or politically affiliated groups, except for special exceptions like a food pantry, which is located in a church, which is open to the public. All right, now, I wanted to go through, I still want to mention this. I believe very much that the Brookside Cemetery, the committee approved $1,500. So I'm gonna do this in general. The Brookside Cemetery, 1,500, the Medusa Cemetery, 2,000, Medusa Beautification, 1,500, Medusa Volunteer Fire Company, 1,500, the Historical Society, 1,575, the library, 2,000, the Rensselaer Park, 4,000, Rensselaer Cemetery, 3,000, Rensselaer Volunteer Fire Company, 4,154, Rensselaer Stage Creations, 25, and the Good 1,500. That's what the committee recommended. I want to bring out the Brookside Cemetery, the $1,500. I'd like to go through this individually, please. Okay. Brookside Cemetery, the 1,500. I agree with. So I make a motion to,
No, I would make a motion. You can just kind of go through them and then agree and then make one motion to do it, to distribute the money. We're gonna have like 25 motions.
but so do you have any feedback on the 1,500? Are you good with it? I guess that's.
I'll actually make a motion that we we award all the grants as recommended from the committee. As long as the total is within our guidelines. Do you know what is that 520 within our guidelines of what we've seen?
Yes.
And I'll make that motion that we award the grants as recommended by the committee.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Lump.
So you second it?
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'm a nay.
And I'm a nay.
Okay, so 3-2, motion carried. So we'll award those grants. I want to bring up, Next.
So
Next year.
then let's talk, are we done with that?
Yep, yep.
So then what's on the agenda, we'll just have audience comments left then, correct?
yes,
All right, so we probably should have said, like, open it for discussion for each of us. Like, I want to make sure that the public knows that I voted no because I don't like the way it was done and how it was advertised to the entity, right?
Right, so
I
after the
support this.
motion and after the second, we should have had discussion.
Yes, I support the board's decision, obviously, no hard feeling whatsoever. I just stand on the fact it should have been done different. And I think that there needs to be a major overhaul, whether or not the board decides, how we're gonna move forward with the committee, the rules to the committee and how it's done or whatever is fine. I feel like in this particular one, it opens, I think to the general public, they have to understand that the rules are gonna change next year, right? You award, I don't know how departments or companies or not-for-profits were told about it. It's weird that, one fire department can ask for 4,500 and one asks for 1,500. In the fire service, knowing how much equipment costs, there should have been $10,000, $20,000 grants. If there wasn't a cap, somebody had to have told them to ask for this amount, right? So in the future, moving forward, it has to be done cleaner. And Ed and I talked, I think that if we choose not to do a mailing, that's fine, but we need to do better about getting it on our sign, getting it on social media. Look, at the end of the day, people don't visit websites. Unless you're gonna order something, people don't visit websites, right? So I think that we need to do a better job of that. And for that reason, I don't think it was done this year. In complete honesty, my fire department was left out, and I sit on the town board, and everybody knows that I don't have perfect attendance, but I sat on the town board and didn't even know this was happening. So that's how quick and quiet it happened. Was left out of it too. So I'm 100%. The easiest way to do it is to move on. And there's too much hard feelings that'll be created with it by trying to undo something that was already done. But I appreciate, your efforts into going through it, and I do think some of those amounts are ridiculous. So.
and I'd like to comment on that. I think that this town board, we worked very hard for Bogue. He gave us the biggest gift that the town of Rensselaerville has ever received, with no strings attached. Okay? Also, don't think that I think we, the town board, should decide who gets the money next year. I don't think we need applications. I don't think we need, we should say the fire departments, the cemeteries. Remember, Jeffrey left this money to us for the whole town, not for one individual pet project. It's for the whole town. Now, for us to fulfill that, we could just not give any grants and take that whole $40,000 worth of interest and put it in our coffers and reduce the taxes. That benefits the whole town. We need to find a way to benefit the whole town, not individual. This was very one-sided, and I really didn't like this at all. I didn't like, and by agreeing to this now, we're setting an expectation, and that's why I'm being vocal about it, because it's not gonna happen next year.
No, it's not gonna happen again that way.
No, it's not gonna happen anymore. So we'll decide. We should give the fire departments $5,000 each. We don't need an application. We should give the cemeteries whatever, 5,000, whatever we decide. We don't need an application from our own fire departments and our own cemeteries.
I agree.
So if we set that up, then we could have grants for something that's gonna benefit, the parks.
What's left?
We should take care of the fire departments, the parks, the library, who's been a good partner with us. The Jeffrey Bogue Memorial Park, which I'm gonna fight tooth and nail for that. And,
Yeah, let me.
and I'm working, but
Yeah, and let me just add to that, and not to, I agree with you, except, this is gonna sound really bad coming from me, but you don't need to like always say the fire departments, right? They do a good job for us, but they also have a tax line. We do fund them with tax money. And we don't fund them nearly enough for what it costs to do that. But certainly our town cemeteries are really struggling. And I know what they're going through because I see what the Preston Hollow one is going through because my brother runs it. I've never really even known until I got on the town board how the whole thing even worked. Like the cost of mowing those things and the time to mow those things.
Wow.
And there's no volunteers to do that anymore. So, imagine what somebody costs, like a commercial company would come in to mow those cemeteries is tremendous.
but Jeffrey Bogue entrusted us
Right.
to spend his money wisely
I agree. I
to
agree.
benefit the whole town.
But
You can still do that by taking in grants, because you'll get ideas that way too from the community. So to say you're not gonna take in or any applications,
No, I meant we should set a standard of, again, cemeteries, parks, and fire department. And they're automatically entitled.
Right.
Then whatever balance,
If people apply for it.
people could apply for. But we're not gonna have $35,000. If we give out,
Yeah, what if, we work, I don't mind helping you, or we work toward guidelines for the grant, that it's, applications or notification of the grants go out May 1st, to be awarded, to be due back June 1st. If you do that every year, it takes away from the responsibility of letting people know, because eventually everybody knows, May 1st, that grant is open. It closes June 1st, they're awarded July 1st. You know what I mean? So maybe we could come up with just some basic guidelines so that everybody agrees to it. You can have I don't know that you need a public hearing, but we talk about it openly at a town board meeting before we adopt it. And then set it, and then just do it. Basically, exactly what we've talked about in the past. We're gonna take the interest, we're gonna save 10%, and then we're gonna award the rest for the previous year's interest. And we'll have guidelines on how we do it.
but I don't disagree with that. The only thing is, the cemeteries, we should decide what the cemeteries are going to get.
That's fine. I don't.
What the library, what the parks,
Yeah.
I won't mention the fire departments.
But I disagree somewhat. Because the things you mentioned, the fire companies, some of the cemeteries, all the parks, we are funded
By taxpayers.
by taxpayers. So I don't think that we should just automatically each year take a set amount from the vote fund to give these organizations when we're already giving them. We're not giving them, but from the taxpayers' budget, they get town money from the taxes. I also think that's, that's what we do with the budget. And if we're gonna do that, then we'll take the vote fund and put it into our funds.
Well,
and
that's
divvy
what
it
I'm
up
saying,
that way.
that's,
But I don't think that was the intent
but
of the vote fund.
we set the grants. Bogue never said that we had to give grants. Bogue said the town of Rensselaerville could have this money. And the town of Rensselaerville decided that we're gonna take 90% of the interest. We chose to get the community to participate and put these grants out there, 90%. Now,
But my point being is that I think the vote trust, a good purpose of that would be to fund something that benefits the entire town that wouldn't exist without that funding.
Correct.
All we're
not
doing
not to
is,
supplement the taxes.
all we're doing is
Right.
supplementing what these organizations already have.
That's,
Maybe we can look for an organization that is new or is innovative, that we aren't even aware of.
Right.
And that could be funded. I think that's a use for the entire town. I mean, that's my feeling about it. I understand your point that, you know, the town board can do anything they chooses to with this revenue. But I think it should be for a bigger purpose than just supplementing what we're already doing with our budget every year.
and that was one of our prior councilmen. His feelings also, Tony, said, you know, we're paying, the taxes to support the fire, the cemetery should be paid by our budget.
Right. Which I agree.
But looking at what's happened, you know, we're not sharing it for the whole town right now.
Right.
So we gotta find a way to benefit the whole town.
Well, I think we could still accept applications, give as much notice as we reasonably can. Take these applications and as the town board, review them. We can do it publicly in a meeting, of course. Review them and accept, modify, or decline them. And if we don't spend $35,000 or $40,000 a year, it rolls over and it rolls over and so forth. But it gives organizations an opportunity to do something that they might not otherwise do.
Well, I think that, I agree, right? So I think that, you have, this didn't go smooth, right? And you're a boss who likes things to go smooth. So I think you should sleep on it for a little bit and then think about the application process because of exactly what he says. I don't want to say fire departments shouldn't be given grants, right? It costs our operating budget in our fire department is almost $100,000. We get 60 from the town. We raise the rest of the money, right? So we need help doing that, and we get that through either grants or loans or whatever like that. So I don't want to say we're not gonna do the grants. We're not gonna do the fire department, so we're not gonna do the town because the town, or the park, I mean, because the parks get money or the cemetery. But just what you said, have an application process where we can all sit down and look at the money. And this, we have a sour taste in our mouth because it was given to us, like, here's the grants, award these grants at this, and we had no say, and we don't really believe that all those grants make
warranted.
perfect sense, right? And I think that if going forward, you have an application process for everybody, and then do exactly what Randy said. When you sit down, you have that period of time, do it as an open meeting. Have the ability for somebody to come here and lobby, right? Hey, I'll be honest with you, there's a group that is like the play group. I don't know anything about it. To me, it's like, how does that benefit the town? Well, let that person come here and say, we benefit the town because we do this. There is a lot of cultural stuff that I might not be aware of, and other people may not be aware of. You know, do that there. If we want to be completely open, and bring one person from each community in to do it.
So I came here tonight stressed,
I know.
because there were things in here that I was out and out gonna deny.
Yeah.
Because of my beliefs.
I agree with you.
And I know the people would have, I would suffer repercussions from it. I already have, I mean, it's politics, right? I already have people that don't talk to me for things that
Right.
I'm looking out for the town. That's it, not myself. So I was stressing over denying some of these, but it had to be done.
Right.
So I don't want to go through this again next year.
No, and we're not. So I think we did the right thing. We're not.
Right.
We're gonna do a fair.
So will the town board will give people the opportunity to present the applications, and then we'll open it at a town board meeting or a special meeting, and we will discuss it.
And
Okay.
like Brian said, sleep on it. Give it some, because
No, I
as you
mean-
think about it over the next, this one's done, as you think about it over the next 6 months, yeah. I like his
On this a
idea.
little at a time.
Huh?
We can work on this a little
It
at a
can
time.
definitely be
Yeah.
improved.
Oh, yeah.
Put
It's
together.
growing pains, it's only second year, I mean, look, at the end of the day, it is what it is, you know? Didn't go right this time, so we'll fix it, right? That's what we do, we identify things as a board and we fix it, we always have, so.
Well, thanks.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I just want to know what the game plan was.
It's evolving.
Let's
Huh?
put together a fair and
Who's
equitable
born?
way of doing it. Because there's probably somebody out there with a great idea that would benefit the town, that just needs $5,000 to do it.
Well, let me give you a good example, and it may not be a not-for-profit. What about a Eagle Scout looking to do a project, and they come here and apply for the grant to help him do his project? Like, can I get money? I want to build a walking path at the hike preserve and build new bridges or something. And I just need money to buy the materials. He applies for a grant, he does the actual work. Maybe that's something, I don't even know if they're.
Yeah,
allowed
no,
to do
that's a
that,
good point.
but Something like that could come
Come up one
across.
set of.
Yeah.
You got lots of opportunities on Canyon.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Somebody wants to do something.
All right, so. All right, I could take a deep breath.
Yes.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Well, any audience comments?
Just
Oh.
one quick question then. Is there any way for the public to know who was just granted their awards?
I'm
We're
sure-
gonna talk about it.
He just read them.
He just read it down.
No, I mean,
Yes, he did.
you stopped him, so
No,
that.
no, he read the whole thing
What?
and then.
So,
You
I'll,
can read it again.
The organizations that.
He did read them in the beginning.
Yeah, so-
First thing he did was read. every
I'm
one.
sorry if I missed that.
yeah, I'll make a copy and give it to you.
Oh.
But it's probably gonna be posted on the website anyway, right?
No one read.
Is it?
Brian said,
Do we?
You asked to, I'll do it, sure.
That's easier.
Probably should.
More for you too.
Who are you curious about?
What?
Which one are you curious
No,
about?
I'm not.
Oh.
I'm just,
Oh.
I didn't think there was a whole list read off of who.
Oh, yeah, it's read it right off the beginning there.
Yeah, there's 14.
Yeah, you read them all.
Preston Hollow Cemetery, the Newton Cemetery, I think it's going down through there.
I'm
And fire
sorry. I
departments.
apologize.
Okay.
No, I'm good.
But putting it on the website is not a bad idea.
All right, Brian made a motion to adjourn.
any other audience comments?
None. Thank
He
you.
already made the motion to adjourn.
So we need a second. I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
All right.
Motion carried. Thank you, guys. And you did make it easy.